Greetings, viewers, and welcome to another episode of That One Guy's Review Show. What's his name again? Yeah, that's me. Last episode, I didn't review an anime, but this time I will. And the name of the anime is Chaos Head. And here's what I think of the show. Okay, so Chaos Head, the main character is this kid. Yeah, that guy over there. His name is Nichijou Takumi, or his name, Takumi for short. Now, kind of like Sato from Welcome to the NHK, he is a hikikomori. He lives all by himself, and he doesn't go outside much. And he is kind of like Sato from Welcome to the NHK, except he's kind of unlikable. He's just pathetic. He has his psychotic delusions and fantasies, but they're far, far worse than Sato's. Sure, Sato from Welcome to the NHK develops and transforms into a likable character, but Takumi is just friggin' pathetic. For a main character, he's very, very unlikable and just plain pathetic. So that's the main character, and oh, it gets better. So so how did the show with a pathetic main character get good? Well, Takumi stays home and plays a lot of video games, MMORPGs in particular. So, and he also has an imaginary friend, which is this one anime girl who owns all these figurines and stuff. I don't know, it's pretty disturbing. He suffers 2D complex, which he's attracted to like two-dimensional hand-drawn anime characters, but real girls and real people he just don't like in general. That's enough about the character. Now what about the actual plot? Well, the first half of the show, it's a well-done, delusional murder mystery. Yeah, the first half of the show is a murder mystery. And, the way it starts, Takumi plays, MMORPGs and goes on, the internet a lot. And, when he goes into this, chat room, he discovers, that this user named, user in the chat room named, Shogun, he predicts, these murders. Like, he predicts that these murders will happen, and there's nothing you can do to stop them. He predicts that they will happen, and he posts these gruesome pictures of the murders, which eventually happened in the future. And that's the first half of the show. That's the first half of the show, and it's pretty well done. But after that, it goes downhill from here. So once you get past the well done murder mystery of the first half, you realize, wait a minute, is this a murder mystery or is this? It turns. Let me put this in words as least as possible. The first half of the show, well-done murder mystery. The second half of the show, generic shonen fighting harem bullshit. Yeah, the second half, once they figure out the mystery and who is responsible for the murderers, it turns into this generic, god-awful, poorly done shonen action show. And it's also a harem when he meets when he meets all these girls that tie into the mystery. Oh yeah, quick fun fact. For those of you who don't know, a harem in anime is a genre of a show when one guy, the main character, in this case, Takumi, is surrounded by multiple girls. No, that one, but multiple girls, which is pretty much comprised of most of the female cast. And that's one of the reasons why it's disappointing. The second half is just generic, boring, not worth watching, and very, very disappointing. At first, when you go away from the murder mystery and you realize that this is just generic shonen crap, you realize, what the fuck is this? Yeah, it's very, very disappointing. It crushes your delusions and hopes of a good show. And that's pretty much the whole reason why I hate and despise the whole entire show. First half is well done murder mystery with crazy people, and second half is generic shonen. What just happened? Oh, there we go. Second half is generic shonen fighting bullshit. And I would say other things about the show, but I don't really have anything else to say about the show really, because there isn't much to talk about. Now, I talked about what makes the show so bad and why I don't like it in general, but let's talk about as many good things as possible before we wrap up this review. So, I talked about the murder mystery aspect, but what else is there? Oh yes, the opening and ending songs were very good, and of course, for a show with below average characters, plot, and animation in general. That really isn't saying much. And, oh yeah, one final cool thing I thought which was neat about this show, and it had potential, but it failed. You know, how kind of like, in Jaws, like when you go on the beach, there are dangerous things like sharks? Well, Chaos Head, when you go on the internet, it's kind of like shows like, the bad things that happen on the internet. It's kind of like sharks in the water. But instead of sharks, you get, crazy murder mysteries, and, psychopaths, and, 4chan. And that's all I have to say about this show. So, on everything else about this whole entire show, I freaking hate and despise. But the well done murder mystery in the first half, and the good opening and ending songs, save the show from an abysmal 1 out of 5. So instead, I give it 2 out of 5. Sorry, buddy, that isn't good enough. I've just seen similar kinds of shows done just better, including this one. Well, that's all I have to say about this show. This is Lone Otaku saying, stay safe on the internet, and don't play too much MMORPGs, or you'll end up like this guy. You don't want to be like this guy, do you? I thought you didn't. Oh, one more thing. Sorry, one final thing for sure. I just remembered this. This is only a minor complaint and all, but why do most girls in anime have to be, I don't know, crazy? Like, I know they're not real and all, but, why do most, attractive female, anime characters and heroines have to be crazy and psychotic? Do the otakus dig, like, the crazy female characters that look attractive, but want to kill them? I don't know. I'm not that kind of otaku, so I don't have anything else to say about that. That was just a minor complaint. Okay, so once again, this is Lone Otaku saying, don't play too much MMOs, or you'll end up like this guy.